At some point in time during your journey, there's going to be a time where your success begins to level out or even drop off. But if you zoom out, let's imagine your success on a chart. If you zoom out from month to month or year to year, it's hopefully going to be going like this. But if you zoom in on a day-to-day basis, it's going to be going like this. For example, if you've ever tracked your body weight on a scale, trying to lose weight or gain weight, you know it doesn't go down or up by the exact same amount every single day, even if you eat the same amount of calories, the same amount of food, because one day you might lose 2 pounds, or the next day you might only lose half a pound, or you might even gain a pound one day. But when you zoom out over a month or 2 months, you'll see the trend of you losing X amount of pounds per week. And eventually, before you know it, you're down 10 pounds. And it's the same thing with success in everything in life. And the reason I'm explaining it to you like this is because I want you to get used to, on those days where you feel like you're falling off or you're not making the progress that you once were, just think of it as a little dip when you zoom in on your entire life and not see it as this big dip in the grand scheme of things. Because what most people do when they experience this dip, that's when they change their entire plan. They think, okay, I need to not eat anything for 24 hours. I need to double the amount of cardio that I do on a weekly basis. And I need to do all this shit, which I've been extremely guilty of in the past. But the best thing that you can do is just stick to the plan that you had before and realize that some of the days are going to be down and some of the days are going to be up. But when you zoom out over an extended period of time, you realize that if you just stick to your plan, granted your plan is taking you in the right direction, it's always going to look like this. And I bet you know someone like this, or maybe you're guilty of this like I was, where they make a plan and after the first bad day, they scrap the whole thing and completely change direction. And all of a sudden they're all over the place. And it's because what happens is we live with the regret in our mind without defining what the problem actually is, which, as a side note, just defining what the problem is will solve most of the issues in your life, because oftentimes the answers are right under our nose and we don't even realize it because we rarely take a moment to define what the problem actually is. So for example, let's say that you've been slacking on your cardio recently. Take that thought in your mind and genuinely write it down on a pen and paper. I've been skipping my cardio recently. Why? And what happens is your brain will begin to work and start asking yourself questions to try and find solutions to the problems. So why am I skipping my cardio? Because I don't enjoy it, because I don't have time, etc., etc. Then from there, more questions will keep coming up. Can I find a different form of cardio that I enjoy more? Am I just coping? And soon enough, you have a step-by-step framework laid out of a bunch of different forms of cardio that are better than what you were doing. Maybe you can do more high-intensity cardio so it's not as time-consuming. So now you have multiple different strategies that you can use to get back to where you were at and eventually progressively overload it from there and get better than where you were previously. But what most people do is they just stay in this constant cycle of messing up, getting back on track, messing up, getting back on track. And they never make any progress because they never ask the question of why is this happening? Our brain's thoughts sometimes are kind of like wired headphones in our pockets when you take them out and they're all balled up and tangled and shit. Sometimes all it takes is just writing out our thoughts or typing them out in our notes. And that's how we can untangle the wires and have all of our thoughts laid out in front of us. It's really as simple as that. Just ask yourself why you're experiencing this problem, and the answer is often a very simple one. So to make this super simple for you, this is what you're going to do. You're going to create for yourself a document so you can write down all the times that you messed up, and under each one, when it happens, write down all the things that you used to help you get out of that rut so you have it to look back on. So let's say 6 months down the line, you're slacking on your cardio again. You can just pull up your notes and see, maybe I'm just bored of the cardio I was doing. Let me change it up so I enjoy it more. Or maybe I'm in a busy period in my life right now and I haven't had the time to get my cardio in. So let's do shorter, higher intensity cardio sessions until my schedule isn't as packed anymore so I can go back to what I was doing before. And soon what will happen is over time, you'll have a collection of all the problems you have in your life that keep reoccurring and all the ways that you were able to overcome them. So as a final statement to wrap up this mini series on discipline, I want you to just remember why you started this journey. Remember your purpose, remember your motivation, remember your desires, and realize that having self-discipline is not just for your own personal gain, but it's for the betterment of the people closest to you. I hope these lessons helped, and as always, I'll see you tomorrow, my friend.